Okay, that's the green screen retouch. Oh whoa, I look. I don't know how to do that. Like new album done. Is this a poll? Well, okay. So I am still kind of new to the whole going live. So I'm just gonna jump right on in. It is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I just turned 30 years old. I feel old. Um, I feel old, but I still kind of act young. Terrifier, horror movies, love horror movies. All right, so I'm just gonna jump into it. Hi, Brittany. Oh, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. I'm 30 years old. How wild. Oh my gosh. Uh. Do I feel it? Mm, I don't know. I don't know if I do. I don't think I do. I think I still feel pretty young. I was trying to put some background music because I got the YouTube music free list thingy. So did I do anything fun? Honestly, I went for a walk and I ran into two people. I think they were a couple. They had to have been a couple. Um, and I said hi to them, and they kind of looked at me like I was weird. I was like, "Hi, you guys," I like smiled and I like said hi. I swear, it's kind of it's hard to say hi to people. I think people just want to get left alone, you know. Welcome in everyone, but I had a great birthday. It was peaceful. It was a very peaceful birthday. Unlike other birthdays that I've had, just it was chaotic. I don't like all that chaos. I don't like conflict. I'm not a conflict person. So definitely a peaceful birthday. I got both me and Gianni a pizza, two pepperoni pizzas, boneless eyelids. I know I don't have any eyelids. Well, my eyelids are heavy. I got heavy eyelids, but um, and then I got some soda. I know. Well, hello, welcome in, welcome in. I What did you guys think of Melanie Martinez's Hades? Honestly, what did y'all think of it? I loved it. I think it is honestly her best album, and she's had what, five now? Amazing, incredible. And I've written every single song I've written down, and this had taken me what, mm, 2.5 days to do. The name tripped me out. Wait, what name? I'm confused. What did I? Oh, you haven't listened to it? Oh, Hades. Um, I can see why you would think that. But Melanie is someone who puts um like she's an artist, right? And she tries to put us in like um oh my gosh, how do I describe that? A very artistic soul, beautiful music. Hades, lol. Yeah. Um I don't know. Don't 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 look at like the don't look at the title. Or yes, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right. You have to listen to it. You just have to listen to it. And with everything that is going on um in society, like in our world right now, she actually she had written the album for back in 2020, 2020, 2019, so around COVID time. She's like she's smart when it comes to her music. Like she will, you know, whenever it pops in her head, whatever pops up, she either knows that she wants to use it or not. Like I don't even know how she does that, but very talented. And like I said, she written Hades back in 2020 when we were experiencing one of the worst times of the century, you know, with COVID, and all of us were stuck behind doors, and a lot of us lost family. Which, if you lost a family around that time, I am sorry. Um, I don't. I'm pretty sure I had COVID when it happened. I'm getting distracted, but anyways, um, that that is what like the album is pretty much about. It's just about how chaotic everything is with, you know. Yeah, she wrote it back in 2020, and yeah, she did. She said in an interview. I did hear her say in an interview. I watched the interview. I think it's once she released Kate after school. When she released after school, that's when no. I'm sorry. After she released during Portals, I guess around that time was when she knew that her next album was going to be what it is. So I'm gonna go through the list. There are 18 songs, which is wild. I could not, for the life of me, listen to every single song right after each other. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like um, I listened to maybe 8 of them, and then I paused, and then I went back and started listening to them again. You know. So first one we have Garbage, and I'm gonna read what I put on here in my words, and I'll have you um let me know, you know, like your interpretation of it. So Garbage, to me, Garbage is number one. And in the song, there are two sides of every story, right? Um well, you know, you kind of have like the light, the dark, the dystopian feel, the utopian feel, which is her next album. It's going to be a utopian feel album. So it's going to be more on like the positive side. Hades is more of like the dystopian, like evil, corrupt, chaos everywhere, right? And then by the end of this year, we're going to get another album, but like utopian and positive, you know. So Garbage. So this is what I wrote. I've written this. I've written this down. There are two sides to every story, right? Garbage is dirty. That's how we interpret it, like, you know, like a garbage can. And garbage would represent the evil slash the bad in the world, right? And there's a lot of hate, um, a lot of violence, chaos everywhere. And what for? Like what is all this? Why is all this? Why does this play a big factor in our world? Why do we have to have this? Why can't we just each just love one another? You know, it's really that simple. It's it's not that hard. You know, it's not hard to share the love for another human because we all bleed red, right? We're all the same colors internally. Um, and you know, the garbage is no different than you or I. So like people in power, they're empowered because they have money, right? But if you stripped the money out, then what is left? Just a soul, just a human, right? They're no different than you and I. And a lot of them, you never know how they even got that money or how they became where they are. So to me, garbage. What she was saying, garbage, is if light and dark can come together and meet in the middle, then we can show each other like our own differences and come together and make everything seem actually a little bit better to live in than what it, than people being afraid to walk outside. I don't know about y'all, but I have to mentally prepare myself before I head outside. Even to go for a walk, and that's sad. That's very sad to think of, or to just I have to tell myself, okay, I'm about like earlier today, I went to the store, right? I went to get some pizza. I went to get us some soda, and I don't know why, but I like looked and I checked to see if anyone was around me. But why? Why do we have that feeling? I mean, I've always kind of had it. I've always known that I was, different in that kind of way, and people would just call me antisocial, weird, which yeah, I mean, I guess all the above. But we're s- we know that this is how we are, and there's nothing wrong with it. What is wrong with it is like, for example, me going out, saying hi, actually forcing myself to want to say, I said hi. I said hi to that couple. I said hi to another man that I met on the top of the hill. And he looked at me. He was smoking a cigarette and he kind of just walked on past, didn't even say, but like was mean mugging me. It wasn't even kind of like a like a what's up. It was like a mean mugging. He was looking at me mean mugging, and I put my hood on, right, and I kept walking straight, and then I looked behind me to see if he was. But why? Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to like turn myself around to see if this man is following me when I was just saying hi? Oh well, you can't put your trust in everyone. You know what I mean? But I just it's just hi. I just want to say hi. Just just hi. Like how was your day? That's it. And if I can make that person smile, then I did something good for the day. I don't know, but I feel like we've gotten to the point where uh, people are like afraid of each other, and it shouldn't be like that. I mean, like speaking, like words are just words. It's man made, right? It's like man made. If we were living like animals and we were just passing by one another, going to the homes that we build or catching the food that we want to eat, and we're not going to talk. Like animals don't talk, right? They have their own little language between one another. But even if words weren't a thing, we'd still be walking around each other, right? And it shouldn't be something that we have to think before doing it. We just do it. I don't know. I hope this is making sense. That's kind of what I interpret garbage as, is if both sides, I mean, you know, evil can be forgiven, um if they if it honestly feels like it's it wants to change for the better, I guess. I mean, I used to be an evil person, I'm not going to lie. Um and with my drinking, I was a heavy drinker, and I was pretty evil. I haven't really told you guys what all I've done on that, but I knew that something had to change, or I don't want to keep living this life. Just the fact that The fact that I would drink and drive, that is already like an evil thing, you know. But spending that night in jail, let's just say I never went to go back, and so I knew that things had to change. So that is what I believe garbage is was about. Now the next one is this occult, which is one of my favorites. And Brittany, honestly, if you don't listen, well, you're probably gonna listen to all of them. Maybe I don't know, but top three of my favorites have to be White Boy with the Gun, is this occult, and the Vatican. That is what it was a couple days ago, but I don't know. I think I might have changed my changed the list. Excuse me. Oh, there's the pizza. I love pizza, but it gives you dang heartburn. You like my cup? It's Terrifier. Oh yes, oh yes, 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 yes. And you have to let me know what you think of it. Honestly, let me know. And um, don't. How should I put this? Yeah, just listen to it. Dissect the. I loathe your hair. Does that mean hate? Is that hate or love? I'm sorry. Please do and let me know. Random user. Sorry, I'm kind of slow. No, just kidding. All right, so next is this a cult? I think that's love, right? Well, thank you. If you love my hair, thank you. I appreciate that. Brittany actually told me not to do it. Don't do it. Don't cut it. You know, I've wanted to. Oh, it wasn't. Thank you, Brittany. Thanks, girl. All right, so let's go to the second one. Okay, is this a cult? I really wish that YouTube would allow us to play the music without letting it be copyrighted. That is so, but it's okay because you're still gonna look. You're still gonna listen to it, and you're gonna let me know. Don't cut it. I'm not gonna cut it. I'm not gonna cut it. I can't. I can't. Right? I gotta keep it going. Okay. So is this a cult? How long is the hair, bro? Okay. So if I flat iron it, mm, almost to my nip, but I'm not cutting it though. I'm not cutting it. My birthday's today. I'm 30 years old. I can't. I want something different. You know, I want something new. I've had short hair mm, my whole life, damn near, most of my life. Most of my 20s. Well, I started growing it out like 25, but I would have like the undercut 6 7. Okay, so is this a cult? What do we think of when we think of a cult? What do you think of when you hear the word cult? Because I guess it could mean mm, a good cult, bad cult, evil cult. I don't know. With this song, most people would think that it is it's a bad thing. However, in this song, to me, it seems like we. What did I put right there? I can't even read my writing. It seems to me that we stick together if we are all on the same page. Okay, so yeah, so if we stick together and we go after what is keeping us from growing, that would be like a positive, like a good cult, right? We know that we are so much stronger that if we reunite with one another and go against what is making us against each other, right? So I mean, I don't talk about politics. I can't stand talking about politics, but is politics and like the community, like the LGBTQIA community, plus, sorry, I had to add the plus, and genders, and like all of these things that pushes us against, pushes us away because everybody has their own opinions about these topics, right? But why do these have to be the thing? Why do these topics have to be something that if we don't agree with it, it pushes us away? What is so important about that, and why can't we get to the important things? People, people losing their homes, um, homeless people on the streets, um, you know, SA towards kids. You know, why isn't that being solved? Why are we going against each other with like left or right or black or white or that? None of that matters. Shouldn't, right? So is this a cult? I believe that if because so many people see cult as like a bad thing, if we all got together and reunited and go against things that were keeping us apart, then we could have like our own cult, but it would be like a good cult. However, I don't know with Melanie. I don't know if Melanie is trying to say in the song, because see, that's the thing. She makes music that you can see different ways. So like the way that I see a song, Brittany, you might not see it that way. You might hear a song and then hear it differently, or you know, like you would interpret it in your own words, and maybe you won't agree with how I interpret it towards, or and that's what that's what Melanie's music does. That's why I really like her so much, because it's like different stories kind of, and you can like kind of dissect it in how in a way that you understand it. You know, I wrote more like, so the people who have controlled our lives are the cult leaders. We need to join together, kind of like a cult, right? When you really think about it, because we are so controlled in life. I mean, everyone's given everyone is given a number. What? Why? What is all this? And I don't want to get into much of all that, but that why? You know, being forced into doing schooling for 12 years, and then them like pressuring you into going to college, and then into, I mean, do y'all still have student debt? Because I do. I still have student debt out there. I mean, it's just something to have you remain poor, I guess. Getting all the materialistic stuff, materialistic things. Her Crybaby album was amazing. And that from okay, so Dollhouse was her number. That was her first song, right? Was Crybaby. And Sippy Cup was definitely one of my favorites. I think that was number two. But yeah, her Crybaby era, it will always be nostalgic. It will always be iconic. But she likes switching it up, and that is you know um I don't work for the system. So yeah, that's how I believe the cult is, the one with the cult. Possession is number three. So obviously, being in a relationship, primarily a toxic one, the one who has control over you, you are their possession. Anything that person says for you to do or say, you do it. not thinking about it hurting you or not, as long as this entity, right, is getting what it wants, is happy. So are you. I also put down here, I can also see possession as a substance that has full control over your life. It's like it's in your possession. Um, and it somehow like possesses you, like alcohol, for example. When you have this obsession on what alcohol does to you and your body and your mind, you consistently think about it, you know, and it always is in your possession. So it's so easy to just grab it and then have it control over your body. The person in the song Possession comes home drunk every night and has a hold on the one who bites their tongue. So the woman or the man or whoever's in that toxic relationship in the song Possession, they're continuing to bite their tongue until they bleed. So they're being controlled by this lover, any type of lover. It could be either a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a parent, sibling, um, and I don't know about y'all, but I would bite my tongue a lot when it came to speaking up for myself in the family I once had, you know? And that was always something so hard to do because as you get older, you know that speaking up for yourself actually can save yourself. Like you can actually like save your life with doing that. But yeah, when I was younger, I would bite my tongue towards my siblings, towards my adopted parents. Like it was something that I did. And hey, sugar. um. So it's sad. That is what I believe possession is about. And then number four, we have White Boy with a Gun. You know what I heard? I heard that, like there were people talking about her album like it was this big this big issue that she was stating these issues in life. And I didn't understand that because why not many people talk about all this, right? I mean, when was the last time you heard an artist that actually sings about real life stuff? I mean, I know they're out there, like they do, but I mean, recently, I just feel like with everything that's going on, we're almost in April. I mean, I feel like this year has been going pretty fast. I can't lie. But I'm not complaining. Excuse me. Ugh, heartburn. That dang pizza. I'm trying to tell you. It was so good though. How is pizza so good, but it gives you the worst heartburn? What the heck? Um okay, White Boy with a Gun. So oof. What did I say with this one? This song this song can get under people's nerves, like under their skin, depending on how you see it or view it. Uh Now I will say where not all white people are holding the gun, right? So we have to remember that white privilege has always and may still be a thing. Um, this lover supports the Second Amendment. Okay, so the white boy with the gun is supporting the Second Amendment, which gives you the right to bear arms. I just got distracted. Hold on. There's that. Oh, I love that. Yay! Well, welcome, and thank you for saying that. That is very sweet of you. All right, where was I? Um, Look, I'm getting distracted. See, I'm getting distracted. Like, where was I at? All right, so I was at. Hold on, hold on. I'm trying to get used to this multitasking. I'm not the best with it. Hold on. So okay, so the boy this lover that the singer is explaining about the lover is supports the Second Amendment, which gives you the right to bear arms. The boy says they are a feminist, so they would support the LGBTQIA plus community, but apparently they don't, right? So, but whether this boy were white, black, Hispanic, any type of color, they were still holding the gun, right? And anyone who is holding the gun has the power. I mean, oh, and that's all I wrote for that one. So, I mean, I love the melody of it. It was, oh my gosh, it was like a lullaby. You know what I mean? But we'll move on from that one and we'll go to number 5, which was her first single that she posted for this era, and that one's called Disney Princess. When we think of a Disney princess, what do we normally view of them? I have unfortunately dated someone like this. Have I? I don't think I have, but they are out there. Sorry, my back was hurting. This chair is not that comfortable. Have you heard of Sleep Token? I have not. What is that? I have not heard of that. I have to look that up. I'm going to write it down before I forget because I will forget. I'm going to look that up. Thank you, young man's son. I like the name. Sleep Token. What is that exactly? A band I highly recommend. I love bands. I love bands. Thank you. I might have a new obsession. Thank you for that. All right. So, where were we? Disney Princess, which I saw in an interview that Melanie, um, she doesn't have any type of favorite of a Disney princess. She doesn't have no favorite Disney princesses. And the song Disney Princess, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this must be like, trying to find a lover, like a Cinderella. No, this is a whole completely different, toxic, a toxic way. It's not, but wait, man, I highly. It's not might you will. Been watching for a few minutes. I fear you may have a connection with the music. Connection with the music. I love the music. I love the music. Um, I'm telling you, I was on this for 2 days straight, dissecting every single song in a way that I can like understand it. You know, um, I've experienced a lot of these songs that she sang about. I know a lot about it. Like I've experienced a lot about it. I was saying, I think you will have a connection with. Oh, okay, awesome. Well, I'm on it, and I will definitely let you know. I'll let you know. Um, okay. Okay, so when we think of a Disney princess, we see what all they have went through and what all they had to go through or lose to get where they are now, which I'm reading off of. I'm reading all. I'm telling you, I look, look at all these. Look, every single song I've written down on what I wanted to talk about with you guys. and I wish that I could have it like playing in the background, but copyright. It takes a lot of to understand some music, and I feel like that's what music art. What makes music art? What makes music art? Hold on, I think he's coming. Hold on. What's wrong? Did he jump on something? Is he okay?
They're going crazy. So I put them in the room.
All right. They're going crazy, so you put them in the room. All right. What makes music art? Copyright's a bitch. Copyright is a bitch. Wait, am I allowed to cuss on here? I see other people cussing, right? No. What makes music art? What makes music art? What does art mean to that person? I mean, art can be all forms of, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. You got me on the spot. I'm nervous. No, just kidding. I am nervous. Please just bear with me. This is my second live, and the first live was like a year ago. I'm still getting used to this. Excuse me. I have to get back to you on that question, but I love that. I love that question. And you know what? I kind of want to write that one down too. Maybe I can sleep on. Maybe I can sleep in on that. No, that was cheesy, huh? What makes music? That's a great question. Why have I? I've never gotten asked that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right. Um, the work, effort, and creativity put into it. I like that. I like that answer. You're Pookie Katie. I love that answer. Already getting hooked to Sleep Token. I'm going to listen to it. All right. Let's see. All right. So Disney Princess to get where they are. Okay. So think about what a Disney princess had to lose to get with what she eventually got. And which, by the way, off topic, did Sleeping Beauty go to heaven or to afterlife at the very end? What do you guys think? Because I don't know. I like saw this video where you know, as trying to convey a message, a feeling, and emotion to an audience. Oh, I love that. Yes, I love that. Yes, thank you, Brittany. I love that answer. Ah, you guys are so smart. All right. Many people in this industry, whether it's music, acting, filming industry, what are you willing to lose to get to the top, to get to where you want to be? A lot of them loses their innocence and become numb at the fact that you may be losing yourself, but you're just getting more and more rich. But money also doesn't. Money's the root of all evil, right? But we need money to survive. Um, so like, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you to give you the most freedom externally, but internally you're still the same. Like unless if you love yourself, right? You love who you are, but you have all this money. I mean, that's you're solid. If you don't love yourself and you have all this money, well, you can go down a spiral. If you don't have a soul and you have all this money, then you're just chasing that money. You're just chasing that, you know, that that thing that is just man made. Like I mean, it it gave me a new perspective on being popular or a celebrity. Hmm. It's honestly so sad. Once you start, you will never be satisfied. And that is true. I personally don't know like big um, actors, actresses, people in the industry and the acting. I don't personally know people like that in my life, but just by just by a lot of interviews, like hearing a lot of interviews and them speaking about what they've had to go through and what they had to experience. That's what I believe Disney Princess, was about. Is like losing yourself to get to that, you know, get to that having that power, having that money, more freedom. I don't know. It was sad, but it was very catchy, and I danced my butt off for a good week when that song came out. I'm not even gonna lie. Should I? Did you guys like the background music? Should I put some more on? The light. I wanted to do like a dark ambiance, but what is this? All right, we're playing Twinkle Toes. Someone called me that in high school. What the heck? Someone called me Twinkle Toes in high school. I'm not even lying. Like my senior year, they're like, "You were such a twinkle toe." I had no idea what that meant. I feel like Disney Princess can also apply to popular people in general, celebrity or not, especially as a high schooler. Ooh, Mayo. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Hold on. Let me dissect that real quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's where a lot of people lose friends or friends, right? I like that answer. I love that answer. I love that answer. I don't like that answer. I love that answer. You're Pookie. You're Pookie Katie. All right, Grudges. So, what did y'all think of Grudges? I'm trying to think about how it sounded. Yeah. The sweetest people are usually the ones who get. Are we allowed to cuss on here? You weren't the biggest fan of Grudges? Reasonable. The sweetest people who are usually the ones who get shitted on. Don't tell on me. Um, on the most. It makes no sense, but it's true. In this song, the person has gotten bullied so much to the point of no return. Which, if you have gotten bullied, I have gotten bullied, and I know the feeling that you have after it's done. Um, I've you just kind of like close off. I was never someone who got bullied and like became the bullier. You know what I mean? I was someone who got bullied, and I was like afraid for the rest of my high school and middle school experience. But now that I think about it, during COVID, when students had to go and be on their cellular device or their laptop, did any of you guys have to do that? I was out of school by that time, but that had to have been miserable, honestly. And yes, I may have gotten bullied in school, but I'd rather have gotten or experienced that than to be, I don't know, in my bed all day. Well, then again, that does sound nice to be in your bed, not having to. I don't know. That was just a very strange world that we lived in back then, but it is no longer here. Life's what you make it, so let's make it right. That's how it goes. Did you guys watch the Hannah Montana special? I heard mixed feelings about it. I'm gonna get a sip of this real quick. Terrifier, the fourth one is coming out next year, I think. How are they gonna top the third one? Have you guys seen Terrifier? And you're such a sweet, beautiful person, Brittany. A lot of us who usually that has happened, you either go down like a really dark path and you become just like the most evil being ever, or you forgive your bulliers and you just still move on with your lovely personality. Love the mug. Terrifier. Gianni has Scream because that's his favorite. That is his favorite horror movie. I love Terrifier. But my all-time favorite horror movie has to be Insidious. Not the fourth one, not the fifth one. Probably just one to three. If they just stopped it right there, I would have been fine. Okay, let's talk about Grudges. Thank you so much for spending time with me, guys. This is awesome. This is so much fun. Oh, it is almost 9 o'clock, and you guys are still awake and watching me. That's sweet. My birthday is complete. I really appreciate that. I am thinking about painting myself a Hello Kitty X Scream mug. Ooh, that'd be badass. Well, if you do that, you have to definitely send me a picture. I would love to see that. Yes. Thank you, Pookie Katie. Pookie Katie. I appreciate that. All right, let's talk about grudges. Hmm. Have you guys ever held a grudge towards someone, or I have. I remember holding grudges. I was not like a lot, but I definitely did hold grudges towards people. You wanted to like kind of like you wanted them to feel that you were hurt, or that what they did was like mean, So the sweetest people are usually the ones, my interpretation, who gets shitted on the most. It makes no sense, but it's true. In the song, the person has gotten bullied so much to the point of no return. It causes so much more damage to a fragile soul when you to a fragile soul when you bully it than if you just ignored it ignored them. So like you're in school, would you rather would you, if someone bullied you, would that hurt more than if they just like ignored you and never even spoken to you? I'd rather someone not speak to me than to bully me. You know what I mean? Like you can make your assumptions on what you think about me, and whether you say it to my face or not. First of all, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not a fighter. I don't fight. I've gotten in one fight. Minus my siblings, I would always fight with my brother, but that doesn't really count. But he did beat my ass. I'm not even going. I don't know. I should have said that. He kicked my butt, but I deserved it. Um, but one other fight, and it was defending my brother. Hmm. We see how that turned out, right? But I'm not a fighter. I don't fight. I think it's a waste of time. Like, I mean, you're fighting for what reason? Just walk away. Be the bigger person and walk away. So so yeah, I'd rather just like a um if someone thought that they wanted to like bully me, just bully me in your head. Don't actually physically do it. I can tell you guys a story real quick. When I was a sophomore or a junior in high school, I believe I was a sophomore. Or was I a freshman? Either a freshman or sophomore. And remember gym class, and you had to change into what you were going to wear that day. Otherwise, you're getting written up. And I don't know how y'all school did it, but we would have to sit with a notebook against the wall and write all gym period. Fighting creates so much more tension. It does, Katie. It really does. And it doesn't solve anything. Like, it really doesn't. And that's what, what was that song? What was the song when, like, they were biting their tongue? Possession. Was it not Possession? I think it was Possession, yeah. Biting your tongue. You bite your tongue a lot. And then when it gets to the point and everything's built up in your head and you explode, the people that you explode to would be like, you know what? Wow, like you're crazy. How am I crazy when you did this to me? You know what I mean? But then I have to be the one to bite my tongue and not say anything because that's who we are. That's what I do. I don't want to be mean. I hate being mean. I I don't even. Every time we see, when I'm driving and there's an animal on the road, I'm the one to park the car, get out, and lead the animal into the woods. A turtle was one of them, and it was a big turtle. And even if I see um, like one of them on the road, I usually scoot them with like a stick. I don't know they say don't touch them like that, but I mean, it's better than them getting smashed all the time from every single tire that runs over them. That's sad. Even if they are gone, I have to do that still. Mm. Um, so that's the person I am. Okay, where was I? What was this? Is that too loud? Can you guys hear that? All right. You will always remember who you have held grudges on because of how that person treated you. Period. And that was, which one was that one? That was grudges. Yeah, Katie, I think I'm with you. Grudges, it was good. Like I said, there was no skips to this album. But is it one that I would like go back and keep re-listening to? I mean, the last time I listened to it, well, it was today when I was writing all this down. But before then, I was listening to all the other ones. You know. Okay, so now we're going into Monopoly Man. Monopoly Man. In the board game Monopoly Man, he is someone who has a bag full of currency. You have to go through all of these ups and downs just to get a share of the bag. Um, you know, going to jail, for example, like when you're playing the Monopoly game and you have to jump on them little boxes and you go straight to jail or something like that. And then you have to give out money, right? Don't you have to give out your money onto someone who already has all this power and stuff and all this money? But you're suffering. You are suffering. People in power who have all this money, and all this power in the world are greedy. And there are actually people out there like you and I who are just trying to find their next meal. The only difference between them and us is they have this fake paper money. It's fake. And we don't. And that's really the only thing that like separates us because they're human. They're not God, you know what I mean? So you take that away from them and what do they have left? Um so yeah, that was Monopoly Man. It was very catchy. The beats were on point. I love the instrumentals. Um, period. Boom. Piriana. Gianni's niece would always say Piriana. I was like, what does that mean? She was like, it means period, but y'all say period, we say Piriana. And I'm like, oh, okay, the sass of it all. Um, Avoidant is the next one. This was a slower song. This one actually made me cry. That one made me cry. I believe Disney Princess. Disney Princess and the first one, Garbage. Those made me cry. And I think Monologue did too. Yeah. The more slower, sad music makes me cry. And then when you listen to when you read the lyrics, then if you can relate to that, even if you can't relate to that, it will still it can still get you. Made me cry so much. Yeah, Katie. Yep, I agree. And I had to keep re-listening to them. I had to keep re-listening to them, and just going back and dissecting them. Um, so this song to me is about giving all of you to something or someone, and it's not being reciprocated. It has drained all of your energy, and then you start to avoid everything. So if you've been in a situation, or like you know someone who's been in a situation like that, where you have done so much for this person, and they maybe they say thank you, maybe they don't, but you don't feel it, and you want them to change for the better because you see them going down a really dark path, but unless they want to change themselves, they're not going to. You can't forcefully change someone. Even if you would want to, even if you would like to do that, you can't just do that. They have to change for themselves, and it's kind of like you're avoiding the situation. Avoidant, like that person, is like avoiding the situation and wanting better for themselves. Um, and then it makes you cry because that's all you wanted was to, I guess, have them back, but like where they already. I did not fart. That was my chair, by the way. I don't know if you guys heard that. This chair is so old. We've done had this chair for 3, 4 years, and I think we paid like $40 to it. It was one of our friends. It's a nice chair. Don't get me wrong, but my back is hurting. I wanted it to look all professional and stuff. Okay, let me stop. I was trying to. I threw on this orange shirt for the Hades. I was going to do my makeup, but my brushes were not washed, and it's been a while since I've washed them. They need to be washed. I wore makeup the other day, and I just never washed. Look at that. I'm so happy. This makes me so happy. I think the song is called Avoidant because the partner is being avoidant. You give your all into them, and they keep leaving and having all these thoughts because they can't confront the real problem. And yeah, like they can't do it. They can't confront the real problem that is standing right in front of them, or that is keeping them from, I don't know, just okay. So long story short, and I've talked about this on my channel. Um, like I said, I was a heavy drinker, and um, I got a DUI back in 2018, 2019, I believe, 2018. And I was in a very toxic relationship. My first partner and I were in a toxic relationship. And this is also another reason why this one made me cry also, was because I was that person. I was that person that I had a relationship, and this person was doing everything and anything to try to get me to realize that what I am doing is I'm only going down a dark path, and they couldn't do it. I reached rock bottom, and then I got myself out of that, you know. But many relationships, previous relationships leading up to where I am now, like I haven't had like a calm relationship like I have with who I'm with now. Um, one other person, I will say one other person, and I feel like I was always the problem. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know. First of all, I didn't fully come to terms with what happened. You know, with like my childhood and stuff, and this man that I'm with right now, you know, he is the only ex or the only I'm sorry, the only person from my exes. None of my exes knew about my story, about my childhood. I never told any of them. I wasn't ready to tell them. The guy I'm with now, he knows everything, right? I told him everything, and I feel like that is what was holding me down, was to like share with someone that I love and care about what my how why I am the way I am. Does that make sense? And he understood it. 7 years later, hitting 8 years in July, and here we are. At the end of the song, for having the closure and saying, I think I'm better off alone, just hits different because I have been on the receiving end of my at the time partner being avoidant. Just so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, and I'm going to go back and reread that. I have to go back and pre. I was the last person taking them exams in school. Okay, people were getting upset with me because in English class I was always going back through my work, and I still got a C. What the heck? Sometimes even a D. But what is high school? You know. Um, Yay! I feel less alone. And people would get so mad at us, and I'm like, I'm not trying to fail. I don't want to keep retaking this. It was history. My history SOLs, I had to keep taking them. I would always go back to summer school and I would have to keep retaking my SOL exams because I would either have like um what did you have to get? A 400? I would get like 390, two something, until finally like the fifth time I took it or taken it, I was like at a 403. So I barely passed it, history, right? And I'm sitting there literally rereading all the questions, rereading all the answers, going back and changing my answers. I was that person. And then people would just like be over there like stomping their legs, like, come on, like, you know, this bell's about to ring. We trying to get out of here. Y'all are still gonna get out of there even when the bell rings. I'm pretty sure that the teachers will allow you to do that. We just have to be the ones to stay after. I don't know. Big issue. These days my classmates would get caught cheating, costing us more time. Cheating, so they what is that one app? What is that one app where like you can take a picture of the question or like the problem and then it gives it to you? That's wild. I remember like having to show my work. And I guess if you like ask the app to like show your work for you, you can do it. But like, do teachers know that you use that? And if they do they care? I think that'd be cool. Could you imagine? Like if I was in school and I could take a picture of the problem and then it can show me the work, you know? Because I'm a visual learner. I was a visual learner. Sneaking their phones in. See, Katie, when I was in school, I didn't have okay, so my very first phone was a flip phone. It was a Verizon flip phone and it was purple. And it was my adopted mother gave it to me. And, you know, like it wasn't, it wasn't a touch screen. It wasn't any of that. It was a flip phone, right? Dinosaur phone, as they called it. And so I didn't have apps like that to do that. That would have been so cool though. You know how? Oh my gosh, I would have passed with flying colors. They do know and care. Serious punishment. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know if there should be serious punishments. What the heck? I hope it's not like any. I hope it's not like bad punishments. I mean, it's out there. I feel like it's out there, so why not? If I was a teacher, I don't know. Let me stop. Your mom's flip phone? Exactly. That was my very first phone. Was a flip phone, and I was a sophomore. It was when I started playing sports. But okay, I'm getting off topic. Monolith. We're gonna talk about Monolith. A normal one too, but I like to use hers also. Yeah, I mean it's crazy, with the rhinestones. Period. See, I wasn't, I wasn't comfortable with myself back then, like I am now, to do something like that. Otherwise, I would have. I love rhinestones. I love glitter. Well, I don't know if I love it. It's very messy. Gianni loves it, but okay. Monolith or monolith? Is it monolith? Monolith. I looked it up too. I looked it up what it meant. So when you are someone in an environment that has you stagnant, you turn out being a piece of molding. That's what it was. A monolith was like a molding. It was like a mold, like clay, and it keeps you stuck. You're like a piece of clay that can't move. Everyone and everything uses you because unlike them, you give your heart. Your heart usually suffers all the pain that these souls sucked away from you, that these soul sucking souls sucked away from you, so that they themselves can feel whole within themselves again. And because you allow it to happen to you, you're the one getting called the names. Like you're the one going through all the pain, all the asking yourself, um, who is going to save me when I'm over here saving everyone else, or saving everything, saving everyone around me. The thing is, only you can save yourself, and no one's coming to save you. And I had to learn that the hard way. Um, and now that I don't have like any of my family members anymore, uh, I really am like alone, Um, so so sad. The song meaning also reminds me of leeches. Yeah, same. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely reminded me of leeches. Leeches was also another one that I was like I loved, but it wasn't one that I was going back and continuing to listen to. You know what I mean? Okay, so Weight Watchers. This one seems pretty self-explanatory to me. Basically, no matter how you weigh, people will still judge you, call you all sorts of names. You can never win with anyone. The only option that matters is yours. Do you love what you see in the mirror? If the answer is no, only you can change that. P.S. I wrote down this. P.S. I heard in an interview slash a podcast, she was on a podcast, that this song lyrically was her favorite. Well, at least one of them. So I thought that was pretty cool. So this one must hit home in a way for her, which she's always been talked about when she was gaining weight and then when she was losing it. You can never win. Which I hope you have a great evening. Oh, Brittany, thank you. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you for joining. This is so special. And thank you for the happy birthday wish. Or, I guess it was a wish, huh? I appreciate it, Brittany. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Mm. Weight Watchers was kind of funny to me. I feel like it would be fun to hear on tour. It probably would be fun to hear on tour. It's funny to you. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think I could see that. I could see why. Um, the only opinion that matters is yours. Yeah. So yeah, and I guess that's all I put for that one. She said that that was lyrically her favorite song. Lyrically. Okay, so the plague. The plague. Um, the beat to this song was sick. I remember the beat to the song. It was pretty sick. And this one seemed pretty obvious of what it was about. Melanie stated in an interview that she had written these songs during lockdown. So when I personally think of the plague, I think of COVID, when many lost their lives. And this would eventually be the reason, or at least one of the reasons, why our world has changed drastically from then till now. Can we agree on that? Maybe? Oh, the pregnant line? Yeah. Oh, my neighbors are screaming. We have like loud neighbors. There was one time, okay, it's off topic. There was one time when um the daughter, I don't think she tripped down those stairs. I think her brother pushed her down those stairs. And even if you try to tell someone about it, they don't do anything. You know what I mean? This is why we have look, this is why Melanie is out here for us, getting us through stuff, you know? Um so yeah, the beat was pretty cool. It was sick. And it was about COVID, which was a wild time then. I was working at a restaurant, and I was at this restaurant for 8 years, long time at a restaurant. And it was like a family owned restaurant. And I had to wear a mask during COVID. And can you imagine wearing a mask covering your mouth and your nose in a hot kitchen? This kitchen was it was hot. I was working around fryers and dishwashers. Dishwashers were hot. No windows, so it was in a like a box room, and you had one back door that led out to the parking lot, but it was never open. So that was some crazy times. I did not. I loved just hearing when they were like, "Oh, you don't have to come back because there's this disease out here. You just go and making $700 a week. People were making $700 and didn't even have to work. I was getting $700 a week, but I had to give it to my adopted father. I know. But anyways, the plague was a crazy one, and that's what it reminded me was COVID. Especially because she had written these songs back during COVID, so like 2019, 2020 era, and batshit intelligence. Um, when you hear of batshit crazy, you think of it as corrupting or corrupted. When you put batshit with intelligence, in my opinion, it means crazy intelligence. So much corruption and not enough love. It's one simple word to feel, to say, but through generation after generation, people who are in charge keeps repeating history instead of making an actual change, spreading love. And spreading love is contagious. However, if it doesn't benefit them, they won't spread their love since money is the root of all evil. And that's what I personally believe that that song was about, in my opinion. Are your neighbors okay? Yeah, Yeah. Oh yeah. They're okay. Excuse me. Siblings, siblings. I mean, me and my siblings weren't the nicest with one another, but we weren't pushing each other down the stairs. Anyways, okay, gutter. Next comes gutter, but that's none of my business. I try to just stay out of it, unless you know, I don't know. I don't want to be like a big tattleteller, but I don't want if I hear something like crazy, crazy. I'm telling someone. I'm telling the landlord. All right, gutter. All right, so let's see. Okay, so around this time, Melanie visited a country. I forgot which one, but I seen it like on her Instagram, I believe, and she had seen the corruption and how family and kids were living in this country. Um, it's so sad because those of us who have a home, food on our tables, we don't fully appreciate it as much as someone who don't have any of this. They would love to have it. They would love to. They would be grateful for anything that they do get. And people in power have enough to give to families in need, like on the streets, but because of greed and heartless, they could care less. The gutter usually is what captures a lot of the dirt and debris from what is around it. The children and family and animals that have to go through all of these evil things, all of this evil gets thrown into the gutters until they get washed away and forgotten. That should show people how easily replaceable that they are. And it's sad but true. But like, okay, so like when and if it, when I pass away, right? People are going to keep living. No one's going to remember me. You know what I mean? But if you're in a situation where you can make an impact in life, but because you don't have the materials from someone who's supposed to be helping you, you know, then you kind of just like get thrown in the gutters and forgotten about. And that's sad. That's very sad. No one should ever just be forgotten in this earth just by, you know, literally so awful. People never think it's going to be them until it happens. 2 years ago, Gianni and I were homeless. However, I've always said that there is like a spectrum of homelessness, right? Like you have it really severe where you have no car, you have nowhere to go, no building, nothing, no one is helping you. You are literally right there on the streets. And then you have like you have a vehicle, but you have nowhere to go. You don't have any family, nothing. You have nowhere to go. Just you, your vehicle, and like a trash bag. And then you have a vehicle, you have a home that you can go to, but you're like sleeping on couches, you're sleeping on the floor. Him and I, we actually we have and had a car at that time, and we were actually sleeping in there until like midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning until we were told to like leave because of it. A lot of times it was at the park. We were like sleeping in a park, and they had curfew up until like midnight, so we had to leave. And we were lucky enough, grateful to have his sister at that time to go and sleep on her couch, sleep on her. Well, actually, many times it was just the floor because she didn't want anyone sleeping on her couch. It was kind of like a brand new couch, but we were sleeping on the floor, and but we didn't have like a secure home, so gutter is a sad one. I mean, it's a very sad one, and it's um, it's so easy to listen to that song and then just like know what it's about and then sing the people who have to live that, and even if you've experienced it, um this is why we need to be empathetic. Empathetic, yes. Yes. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It wasn't easy, but it made us stronger, and it definitely made us stronger with the relationship because like I said, we have been together for 7.5 years, almost 8 years. In July of this year will be 8 years, and to go through all that with someone, and you have all, that last song, um the last two people on earth, keep telling them I'm like, we're not there yet, but okay, I feel like I'm stalling. Like, I feel like I'm stalling. Let me get back to this. Let me get back to this. But thank you. I do appreciate that. I'm so grateful that we got out of that situation. It was toxic. And I have seen a lot of things. And I have told the higher ups or the people in power, I have told, or the people who are supposed to help you, I've told them many things that either I've had to go through in my childhood or what I've had to experience in my adulthood. I've told them everything, and sadly nothing was ever done. So am I going to continue to live a miserable, depressing, sad life, or am I going to just be like, you know what, it happened and I can't do anything about it, I'm still here. I just turned 30, like I'm grateful to even see this age. A lot of people usually pass before this age. So I'm just happy to be alive, and that I can share this, with y'all, It makes me happy to do that because a lot of people would love to, you know, be alive today. So, we are on 14. Uncanny Valley. Yeah. Okay, so what did I put here? So, you're never good enough for anyone. It's so sad when you have a valley girl or like or a boy, valley boy. Look, so many people. Oh, look, like if you have a familiar look, so many people respect you more. Poised, did see blonde hair, blue eyes. That was like attractive. So you have the look, you have the whole package that people want or find attractive. Many older men with gray, white hair, usually the ones who are pervs. But once again, this isn't every older white hair male, um, metaphorically, right? You are beautiful just the way you are. And remember, only your opinion matters. As long as you love what you see in the mirror, minus the flaws, that that is the only opinion that matters is yours. Your opinion is the only one that matters. And you don't have to have it all figured out, you know? Hi, in love. I'm in Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are almost going on 15. The Vatican, which is whew, y'all, when I tell you guys, when I first listened to the Vatican, I had to go back and re-listening to it, but because the first time I listened to it was nothing but the instrumentals. I loved the instrumentals. I loved the beats. I loved everything about it, and I had to keep going back to listening to it, and that one was wild, honestly. And I put down here it was very eerie when I first listened to it. This one digs deeper into religion and Some of the most evil people out there aren't necessarily the ones holding the gun, but your Sunday pastor speaking, which is so twisted because they have so much power. Also, they have power. Also, they can um, gather up their own cult like, and have them do what they want to do. I'm not a religious person. I don't like talking about religion. Um, because why? We are all one. I guess in a way, we are all love. I feel like all that doesn't really matter, and many get away with these heinous crimes. It's sad when you can't even fully trust the man slash the woman behind the robe. So sad. Oh, I put down PS. So sad. It was one of my favorites. It was one of my favorites from like me being able to dance to it, but then go back and be like, oh, I don't know if I should be dancing with that one. A very, very bop. Very bop. And it is, yes, okay, the lyrics are wild. They're so crazy. I had to really go back and but that was one of my favorite ones. Now that I'm going back through them, we're going on to 16, 18. At the end, I think that I'm going to go back and just like see which one now after after like sharing my opinions on them. Maybe I'll go back and see which one I will actually consider as number one. And from everything you guys share too. So number 16, Hell's Front Porch. Depending on what you have experienced in your life or what you have seen, we can all agree that this is the devil's playground. Well, that's what I personally believe is that we are living. And instead of people coming together, being happy, whether it's sweating, dancing, because she had said in the song the F word, sweating, dancing, because we have no control around us. We can only do what makes us happy and to spread the love that we have internally to the ones who may need it, who may want it. The hardest part about that is during the process of doing that, it is easy to lose yourself within. So you have to stay strong, keep going, don't give up. And then it makes you, when you've done so much for people and then you break down, and when you break down you hit rock bottom, you have to get yourself out of that, and that could be one of the hardest things to do. So you're sitting on hell's front porch. um, yeah, I guess is, yeah, i think I think that this was about climate change, oh, and global warming. Huh. I'm gonna have to go back to that one. I'm gonna put a little star next to that because I do like that theory. Thank you for that, Katie. Global warming, yeah. Ooh, I think you're onto something. 17 chat room. Um, so this one obviously um, is about when you go live in a chat room. You have so many people who join your live. They will say the meanest things to you. Try to get under your skin. Try to get under your skin. Keyword. If you allow it to. We had one here and here, and Brittany got him out of here. I thought that was the sweetest thing, because we kind of have to like help one another. Um, just so you can feel small. That's the thing. They will say the meanest things just so that you can feel small, and that they can feel like some kind of superior to that. Don't even know who you are. Probably never met you before, and you have to be the one to ignore them, or it will consume you and take over you. Many people I want to see many people want to see you fail. They don't want you to succeed in anything you do. And if going into your chat room and being mean is what they have to do to make themselves feel better, that is what they will do. Um, Sad but true. Chat room was one of your favorites. I did really like chat rooms, and it was the longest one. It was like 6 minutes and like 15 seconds, I believe. I think that was her longest song, so that's cool. And then the last one, obviously number 18, the last two people on Earth, is exactly what was sung, sang in that song. When the world is coming to an end, you know, just give me your love, pretty much, because I don't want to have to keep replaying all of these things in my head about where I'm living and how just evil and corrupt it is, and make me forget about it. Make me forget about everything. I went through this a lot as a kid in lockdown with the chat room. Oh my gosh, you know what? And first of all, I'm sorry that that happened to you. Just like I was saying earlier, I can't imagine being in school, having to be in those little boxes when you're introducing yourselves online. I have a blanket. I literally have a blanket. This is what, you just had to just make sure you looked fine from waist up, and you were good to go. And that to me seemed awesome. Like that'd be cool. But when it comes to actually having like people in your chat room being mean, bullying you, that kind of almost hurts more than if it were to have been in person, because I feel like in person someone can actually defend you. Yeah, over online they can defend you, but it's not I mean it's not like if it was like a physical thing, like in person, you know what I mean? Like so that you being next to someone who stopped this bullying going on towards you, it hits differently than if it were online, is what I'm just trying to say. And I'm sorry that that happened to you, and I'm sorry that it happened to many other kids around that time. That's not fair. Online, more confident online because they aren't in person. Exactly. Like their egos are so much bigger being online than if they were in person. Like I'm pretty sure they'd be scared to even say anything like that to anyone in person. But wow, this was amazing. This, like I said, this was my second live. Oh! I'm gonna go back and see now which one is my favorite. I'm gonna put. Let's do top three. I'm gonna do top three. So before it was, is this a cult? And then I chose White Boy with the Gun, and then the Vatican. But I might have to change it. I really do like Garbage. Garbage would have to be number one right now. And then I'm gonna look more into Hell's Front Porch and about um, climate control and what you were saying about that. When I look more into it, I might even just change it and be like, that could be my number two, Hell's Front Porch, because I really did like that one, and I loved the instrumentals with it. It was so beautiful. And then the third, I loved Possession. I love Disney Princess. I love them all. Shoot. Probably Let's see what yours is. One. Okay, so your top three is one is chat room, it's meaning, two Hell's Front Porch, and three monolith. I think I might have to go with avoidant for the third one. I think maybe I might have to go with avoidant. So garbage, Hell's Front Porch, and avoidant. Or the plague. The plague was a good one. I hear Jasper. Jasper, I hear you, buddy. Oh, this one here so bad. They're probably my top three. But yeah. Thank you so much. This has been incredible, I must say. Um, I never thought I was going to be on here for this long, but you guys have really just given me a lot more hope for my next going live, which I don't know when I'm going to go live again. I'm not usually like a streamer or would it be called a streamer or someone who goes live much, but because this went so well, I feel like I want to do it again. I don't know what it's going to be about. I don't know if I'm going to do like another reaction video, but like Melody said, we're going to have another album, so I might just have to come back for the Utopian album. I can't pick three. Exactly. I can't pick just three. I have to pick them all. This was such an amazing album. Um, this was such an amazing time here being on live. And thank you for everything with y'all's comments and y'all's likes. I greatly do appreciate this. It has been an honor to have been able to do this. This won't be the last time that I will go live. I would love to go live again when her new album comes out. So I appreciate it so much, and I hope that y'all have a great night or morning or afternoon wherever you are watching this from. And yeah, until then, I will see you guys hopefully in the next album, the Utopian side, because we are in the dystopian side. Now we're going to be going to the utopian, and I'm excited for that one to just have everything come together, you know. Good night, Katie. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for all your comments, all your lovely comments. I put the stars next to the ones I want to be able to go back to look through these songs. Good luck with your journey and that Hello Kitty. I would love to see that. That sounds amazing. And I hope you have a great night too. Thank you so much. Okay, well, I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.